Hello everyone! In this video, I introduce you the stunning elements and features of ancient Persian houses which are universally known. As a result, you will be mesmerized by all their talents and beauties and will have a better idea for where to go or stay for your journey to Iran. One of the very first things that amaze tourists in Iran, or even one of the reasons people decide to visit Iran, is its magnificent traditional houses. No matter if you are an architecture enthusiast or not, you will be mesmerized by the ingenuity of these ancient houses. The ingenuous and eco-friendly design in which the house was kept warm during cold winters and pleasant in hot summer days are so shocking. Not to mention the eye-catching designs, plasterwork, mirrorworks, and paintings that symbolize rich Persian concepts. The colorful flowers are another remarkable feature of these houses that attract so many visitors. Well, you might be wondering why the features and elements of traditional houses vary region by region. Well, each feature and element varies depending on the climate, culture, and principles of the area. For instance, you can see specific decorations and designs in Isfahan and Shiraz because of people's main occupation as handicraftsmen. Not to mention the importance of local and cultural issues on the designs, since we can see a wide range of methods, techniques, materials, shapes, and forms. They are indeed a true representative of local and cultural diversity of all over Iran. In general, they are not just a house, they are indeed a precise reflection of rich Persian culture, lifestyle, attitudes, principles, and religion. That is why visiting a traditional house in Iran is a must, so that you would be able to dip into people's lives and culture and gain a better understanding of how might a local live in Iran. One of the very shocking and interesting points about the traditional houses in Iran is that, except for the palaces and mansions, most of the houses have a simple exterior, while the interior design is based on how rich people were. The Iranian traditional design is totally flexible. Houses consisted of two parts, Andaruni and Biruni. Andaruni was especially for the family members and servants. As a result, they had their privacy, and women would not need to wear hijab, while Biruni was for guests and they could not enter Andaruni to keep the privacy for the host. The structure was built in a way that during the hot summers, the weather inside the building was cold and pleasant, though during winter the inner space was warm and comfortable. The window played a prominent role in penetrating daylight into buildings. They were to build unique spaces in the house. The odds are that colors were not the only thing used for decoration. There were also other elements being used for coloring the environment. The decoration was not just for the artistic viewpoints, but was also used as insulation. All these crucial factors were taken into consideration to make traditional houses as a specific place for gaining soul development and physical calm. These windows of the building are called orosi. Or is a word that means ascending, and si also means a ray of light, which is common in the southern dialects of Iran. And finally, it is called ascending windows. This is a Persian word that means open. In Europe, such doors are called guillotine because they go up and down. In Orosi art, no nails or glue are used, and all the designs and drawings that are used on it are connected using delicate wooden connections, and all the colored glass in which used to be embedded in the grooves of wooden tools. The art used on the windows is called gerehchini. Gerehchini is an art created with cut pieces of wood and stained glass in various shapes and geometric units that are harmoniously placed together in a definite and repetitive frame. A remarkable point about the window in Persian houses, especially the central and southern parts, is that they typically have no window toward alleys and public places. That is to not only preserve the house away from the dust, storms, but also keep the house away from all the noise and sound from out. Shiraz is a kind of wooden canopy with delicate and beautiful decorations that has been used parallel to the roofs of the houses and for applications such as preventing annoying sunlight and somehow creating shade, shelter in the yard for rain and snow in order to the protection of the building facade, like Orosi and windows against rain and snow. Iranians used to sit on the floor. That is why you can see beautiful carpets in traditional houses. In winters, they gathered together around a kursi, a low table with a heater underneath. During summer, they sat on carpets and they even slept on the carpet, but after a while, the sofa and beds were added to the designs. Yet carpets was never removed from the people's culture. The saku is a type of platform on two sides of the entrance door to the houses and was for the guests who did not want to enter the house and wanted to talk for a while with the host. On the traditional houses' entrance door, they were typically two types of door knocker called kube. These two kube had different shapes and sounds. As you can see in the picture, the right one is a ring shape that made a light sound, while the kube on the left side is a thicker bar making a deeper sound for male. You might be wondering what were these two lockers for. They were built this way for the host to be able to recognize the gender of the guest. Men knocked on the metal bar knocker, while women knocked on the ring kube. That goes back to Islamic principles, and the host would know to put on her hijab if the guest was male. Behind the doorway, there is a hashti, which is in different shapes like octangle, square, or rectangular. It was built to direct the people to the different parts of the house like andaruni, biruni, yard, etc. Simply, it was to regulate access to various parts. There were also some platforms or saku in Hashti for people to sit on. Dalan is a narrow corridor that leads people from Hashti to various parts so that people would not be able to see all parts of the house. This was to keep the privacy of the house for the host. Yards typically have a pond with flowers and trees decorated in a harmony with each other. These features make it quite like a small garden where children could play for hours and the family have a snack or delicious Persian drinks. The smooth breeze, the sound of flowing water, and the birds singing make it an enjoyable and memorable scene not to miss. The pond was a place where Iranians washed the fruits and their hands and face. It was not for swimming, it was for decoration and use of water, and also the water in the pond was like a mirror. Painting on the roof, wood of roof, which is called marjovak, is for Shirazi artists, and it was done by hands. The art of lattice stone has a long history. By cutting the hard rock and making holes and creating a grid, a window of light and illumination. This stone is usually used at the bottom of the building to provide light and air conditioning for the basements of houses. The artist creates the design using mental motifs, using a hammer and iron pen. The lowest structure was abrizgah. Since people could use the water easier, the bath has two sections. One was for changing clothes, sarbine, and the other one was for taking bath, garmine. The direction of most traditional houses in Iran was toward south-north. It was the best direction to absorb light during winters and make use of shadow on hot days. Despite so many unique traditional houses that have been destroyed, some of them are fortunately turned into museums, traditional hotels, tea houses, cafes, or restaurants. So there are quite enough options for you to choose and see how a traditional house is. No wonder if you stroll along the narrow alleys of old parts of Shiraz to see more still preserved traditional houses. Have you ever visited a traditional house in Iran? I would be happy to hear about your experience. If not, share your questions and ideas with me in the comment. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.